Well, all right, everyone. How's everyone doing? I hope that you are feeling well on tonight. Listen, it is a great time to be alive. And it's Saturday, Sunday. No, it's Thursday. It's Thursday. And what is Thursday? It's time for Better Podcasts with yours, GMP Speaks. I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope that you're staying safe. It's windy here in Western New York. Probably wind or storming wherever you are. But I want to just welcome you again to my podcast. Listen, if you don't know who I am, let me just introduce myself really quickly. My name is David Impton, but I go by the name of DMP Speaks. I am a empowerment speaker. I'm also a board certified Christian counselor, and I also am a family restoration specialist, which means I am helping families reconnect to each other. It's very, very important that not just everybody knows that what my position is, but knowing what I am here to do. I'm here to help your family, but I'm also here to help individuals. I just need you guys to do me a favor. Please share this with someone. Tonight's going to be great. And I want you to be empowered. I don't want to just inspire you and motivate you, and that's great. I want to empower you with this information that I feel like will be helpful. Just a way of announcements. I have a radio show that I do every Saturday at 2 p.m. It's called Speak Out Loud Radio. You'll see a little information as we go through this podcast. I do this every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fire 716 Radio. It is located in Niagara Falls. If you ever want to come to the show live, you can see me live. But I stream from all my social media platforms to give you information. And this week, we're talking about how to break family generational curses. You do not, and I'm telling you, it's part one. You do not want to miss that. So I don't want to belabor your time. But again, thank you so much for your time. Let's get into the topic tonight. So what we're talking about is 3 ways to take control of your thoughts. So goes for all my social media platforms. If you could share that with someone, that'd be wonderful. That'd be awesome. Again, we're talking about 3 ways to control your thoughts. Now, it's hard to control your thoughts. Let's make that very, very clear. It is not easy to control your thoughts, because our thoughts can be out of control. They can be out of whack, and sometimes they can be out of sync with reality. I've been there before. You probably have been there many a times. I know I have. We can believe something so bad and believe that it's going to happen. And I'm not talking about just believing in something. I'm talking about negatively believing in that something bad is going to happen. We can believe in that so much that we start to engage in those negative thoughts. We start to engage in those thoughts, and we wonder why we get our minds together, right? We wonder why that anxiety in our lives is so particularly high. We wonder why our depression is so high. It's because a lot of times we have no control over our thoughts. We have no control over our thoughts. And one of the biggest reasons why of that, because not only do we not have control, we don't even know what to do to get control. And that can be scary. This behavior can lead to negative outcomes, right? Because it's the thought that you have in your mind that you have, right? And it goes from having that thought in your mind and you believe in it to a behavior. And then from that behavior, there's outcomes. So that root issue is you put too much time, you put too much effort into that thought. And because you put so much effort into that thought, the behavior came, right? And from the behavior coming, an outcome came. And what's the outcome? You're down, you're feeling down. You're afraid, right? You're very fearful. You're afraid that you're not going to make it if you got a health situation or your marriage or your money, whatever it is, situation. We're specifically talking about controlling your thoughts. So I need you guys to share this with someone. Please, if you know somebody that is struggling with their thoughts, if you somebody said focus on your thought, attention, and energy. Yes, You have to be able to do that. And this is interactive. So I'm giving you information, but please go to the comments. I want to hear your questions. If you enjoy what you hear, if you don't, it's okay, because I want to make sure that my podcast is for what people need and not what I want to give them or what they need. So thank you for that. Yes, I'm going to read that again. Focus on the thought, attention, and energy. Yes, you got to be able to focus on the thought. One of the things that I feel like a lot of people need, and I needed to make this happen for myself, I needed some mental discipline. Let me make this very clear. I needed some mental discipline. You can put that in your phone. You can put that in your tablet. You can write it down. Mental discipline. So we have disciplines for our finances, which is great. We have discipline for us losing weight. That's another great thing. We have discipline at our jobs, or if we're in the music industry or whatever that we're doing. We have discipline. Getting up in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock. That's discipline. That's great. But sometimes we don't have mental discipline. See, mental discipline, is a goal, right? It's a goal that everybody should have, right? Because it engages in the mental practices. So it's an engagement of mental practices that give you what you want, what you are looking for, what you are looking to achieve. See, when we don't have mental discipline to control those thoughts, our thoughts can be all over the place. See, we have to mentally practice, right? And we have to allow these things not to overtake us, right? We have thoughts to be able to help us so that we can make better decisions in our life, right? But if we don't have mental discipline, those decisions will not get great results or great outcomes because we have no discipline, right? And if we have no discipline, those things that we are trying to make decisions and be decisive and not indecisive, we'll start making decisions that make no sense. We'll think it makes sense, right? But they actually don't make any sense. So we have to be very disciplined in our thoughts. And I'm not talking at you. I'm talking with you because I've been there. I've been there at the place that I did not have mental discipline like I should have. And it's a hard thing to have when you don't practice it. That is something we all have to be able to practice. Mental discipline, right? See, you have to be able to keep your thoughts under control. Let me say that again. You have to be able to keep your thoughts under control before they run away from you, right? Sure, some people have a hard time with letting go of these negative thoughts. I've been there. I have had negative thoughts. I would take I'm trying to give you an example. I can't even think of it right now, but I would take a thought, and not only will I take that thought, I will run with it. I mean, every scenario. I'm just telling you how my brain works. It used to work sometimes. I would take a thought and I will find the negative in it. I will find what's detrimental in it. And for some odd reason, I will follow it through in my mind. Every scenario, how it's supposed to happen. And that was not good for me because I did that in relationships. I did that with my money. I did that on jobs. I did that with people that I love. I did that with family members. And when you do those things, it can be very detrimental, right? But one thing I want to say to you is, just like a trainer has to train their body, right? You also got to train your mind. Let me say that one more time. Just like a trainer is training their body to lose weight, to get fit, you also have to train your mind, right? You need a daily, weekly, and monthly mental workouts. Yes, it is a skill, discipline. It is. It's daily, weekly, monthly. You need mental workouts to remove all these impure thoughts. these fears, these tactics, these unreasonable pressures, right? Just like if you are working out your body, you got to work out your mind as well. We have to watch, just like, okay, for instance, we have to watch what we put in our bodies, right? I go to the gym, I work out. I'm trying to lose weight. I got a goal. I got to do a little bit better, y'all. But I'm trying to lose some weight, right? So there's certain things that I can't put in my body, but I'm trying to get rid of waste, right? So this is the physical way, right? But we also got to look at in the emotional and the mental way. We have to be able to watch what we put in our minds, right? And we also have to watch what we put out. You might say, what does that mean? What we put out, what you say, what comes from your heart, right? So the discipline, the mental discipline is very important. As being a parent, you gotta have mental discipline. I'll say it again, as a parent, me being a parent, many of you being parents or even grandparents, you have to have some mental discipline to deal with your children, especially if you got a preteen, or my goodness, especially if you have a teen, you got to be mentally disciplined, because you be wanting to, right here in the fellowship, you be wanting to smack them down, right? I'm joking with y'all, but it's a serious thing. You have to be mentally disciplined, just like you're disciplining your body. Sometimes we can put so many things in our mind, and we can speak out of our mouth, and we're not, how you're lifting weights and you're trying to work on your biceps, but you got to work on your mental biceps. So you got to be able to be that disciplined. And discipline, it takes time. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, but it takes time. Our mental biceps can be affected by family trauma. It could be affected by negative experiences, and it can make you mentally and physically sick. You could be so mentally malnourished that it makes your body sick. Because if your mental is not right, if your mind is not right, your body can't be right. I'm going to say it again. If your mental can't be right and it's not right, then your body can't be right. So up here, it doesn't matter how much you lift. If your mind is off, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how many cars you have. If your mind is not there, if your mind is not focused, if your mind is out of control, you'll lose what you have because you don't have a mind to keep it. So I'm going to pause here as I do every podcast. I want to give you some information on what I do. I'm excited about what I'm doing. It is one of the things that I feel is going to change a lot of people. It's going to change a lot of families around. I want you to pay attention to this, and I'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Listen, if you ever need to get in contact with me, again, my information is there. I am a family restoration specialist, and I'm here to help you. Listen, listen, listen. It is very important that we put our families back together. It's so vitally important. Now, let's get back into the conversation. So what we were talking about, and we're almost done, I got a few more minutes. We were talking about 3 ways to control your thoughts. Sometimes your thoughts can be out of whack. They could be out of sync with reality. And this behavior can lead to negative outcomes because of this behavior, of how you think. And I've started to tell everyone, you need mental discipline, just like we have physical discipline when we're working out, when we're eating well. We also need mental discipline. We have to be able to get stronger, right? And the way that we can get stronger is by that mental discipline. That mental discipline is going to help us. Just like a trainer is training, he's watching what he or she is watching what they eat. We got to watch what we put in our bodies, right? But we also have to watch what we put in our minds. Who is in our ear? We have to be able to be very careful with that, because we can have all of these pressures. We can be around the wrong people and hear all this gossip and all this melee that we don't need to hear. So we have to be very, very, very careful with that. And that's what I was talking about earlier. So I want to speed up because of the time. We're getting away from the time. I want to give you a few things that I feel will be helpful. Those 3 things that we were talking about. Give me 1 second here. Sorry, my iPad is just acting up. So I want to give you these 3 things really, really quickly. You have a pad, your paper, your phone, whatever that you have, and I need you guys to share this with somebody, because I really believe this is going to help somebody. I really do, and I'm not just saying it to say it. I really believe this is going to help someone break out of their place and where they are. So the first one is, simply put, recognize when your emotion gets away from you or it comes upon you. You got to be aware, again, of your thoughts. You got to be so keen, so comfortable with yourself that you recognize when your thoughts are off. You got to recognize, man, I'm thinking a different way today. Why am I thinking like that? You got to be on top of yourself. Yes, somebody else might say this, that, or they might tell you, oh, why would you think that way? You got to be aware of yourself, and it's not easy. But pay a little bit more attention. If you're feeling like really down, you're feeling really out of it, and you feel like you're more depressed than you were last week or a couple of days ago, you want to pay attention to that. It's not to freak out, but you want to pay attention. You want to recognize that emotion, and you want to capture it. You want to take it hold, right? So you want to recognize that you might have a negative thought that's on the horizon. You don't want to keep feeding it. That's one. Number 2 is manage your emotions daily if you can. And I won't even just say if you can. This is something that a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people struggle daily because they don't have a mental plan. They don't have mental discipline, but they don't have a mental plan on how they're going to handle tough situations. They don't have a plan together on how they're going to remove these negative thoughts in their head, right? Because if you don't remove these negative thoughts in your head, again, they will overthrow you. So you got to have a mental plan. It's like a precursor. If I know, right, if I'm recognizing that I have this thought, okay, how am I going to manage this negative thought? How am I going to manage all of this pressure? How am I going to manage this feeling right now? How am I going to manage this emotion right now? I got to do something with it. It can't stay in my periphery. I can't let it stay in my mind, because it's going to go from my mind. It's going to go from my mind to my heart. And it's going to go from my heart to my mouth. And then from my mouth, it's going to speak out. So you always want to watch what you say. So you got to manage that. right? We're managing our jobs. We're managing our kids. Well, are we managing ourselves? We got to be able to manage ourselves. We got to have a mental plan in place of worry. You got to have a mental plan in place of depression. You have to have a mental plan in place of these negative thoughts. So again, recognizing that emotion that's coming upon you, managing those emotions daily. And the last one, live to the best of your ability. Live a mental health life. What does that mean? What does that mean? We always say mental health is so important. That self-care of your mind, not to be overthrown and pressured to make decisions when you are not in the right mind, to do things that's going to bog you down, to be a part of things that you're not in that place to be. Being around people that got too much drama, that could be friends, that could be family, that could be co-workers. Listen, you want to be careful that you minimize a lot of, I hate to say it like this, but a lot of dead zones, right? Dead conversations, dead, mentally dead people. I won't go too far on that. I won't go too far. But I think y'all understand a healthy mental health, a healthy life mentally, however you want to put it, you want to be careful. It is so vitally important to keep focused and keep your thoughts intact. And the reason why I talked about this tonight, and I'm done, is because a lot of us, we cannot get our minds straight because we are all over the place. And when we don't have to, my brother, my sister, you don't have to be in the closet of your mind. You don't have to be in the closet of your mind. You just need some mental discipline. And you need to give yourself some time to really think things out instead of rationally making decisions. I know you can do it. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I've been there. I've been through depressed moments and panic attacks. But it's not necessary. I know your son getting on your nerves. I know your daughter is running her mouth. I know you might not be getting along with your husband so well. Your family seems like it's up in a roar, but you can do it. You can do it. You can take control of your mind. And once you take control of your mind, you can take control of that family in the best way that you can. So I'm going to close with this. If you are looking for a family specialist like myself, I want to help your family. I really want to be entrenched in what's going on so I can give you the best possible information, and not just information, strategy, so that you can execute what you need to execute for your particular family. Everybody's family is different. Every individual family is different. Let me say it again. Every individual family is different, right? So some people might need more than others, but it's okay. Don't be embarrassed. And if you are embarrassed, I'm asking you to take that embarrassment mindset, right? And put on a new one. If you need help, I want you to email me at dmpspeaks@gmail.com. Again, that's dmpspeaks, the word speaks, @gmail.com. Or you can go to one of my social media platforms, click on the link for information. Listen, everybody, I'm telling you, and I'm going to say this to you again, you do not want to miss the radio show, Speak Out Loud radio show on Fire 716. You can download the app at Android and the App Store. You do not want to miss this conversation. I'm going live Saturday at 2 p.m. Listen, everybody, it was such a pleasure to be with you all on all my social media platforms. Listen, follow me at DMP Speaks on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Instagram is I am DMP Speaks. You don't want to miss it. I also have some information, some content that I'll be putting up in the morning. Don't want to miss it. Thank you guys so much for your time. And as always,